Under this canopy, it's so dark, I can hardly see the hand in front of my face. I'm very aware that I'm sacrificing a whole night's sleep, and when you sleep, you recover. Your muscles recover, your brain recovers, everything starts to recover, and this is harder than it looks. This is just starting to make that noise when a flame feels like it's about to go out. Don't go out, don't go out, don't go out.
I'm Ed Staford, and I've put myself through extreme tests of endurance and isolation to become a bushcraft and survival expert.
I'm proud of that.
I've tested my skills against the world's toughest survivalists.
Come on.
In head-to-head races across the wildest and most unforgiving landscapes on the planet. But I'm not done. I'm refusing to stand still. This time, I'm doubling up on opponents, taking on rematches,
bringing in my game,
and having to go harder than ever before. It's not about beating my chest, but taking my skill set to the next level.
Oh, stop it.
In a bid to prove to myself that I'm on top of my game.
This time, I'm headed to Taiwan's deadliest mountain range to take on Chinese professional mountain climber and ultramarathon runner Sun Lingjea.
太恐怖了 ，Ed， 咱们山顶上见。
Above the clouds in a high-altitude, ultra-endurance survival challenge.
More people die on this mountain than any other mountains in Taiwan.
华山论剑，谁会输谁会赢，我们等一下就知道了。
It's going to be a sufferfest, and I'm not looking forward to it. Sun, hello.
Hey, Ed.
How are you?
你好。
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thank you for coming, mate. What a glorious day.
I heard a lot about you. One of that is you are very aggressive.
Right. Who told you that?
So, yeah, I did some research to prepare for this one.
Thanks, mate. Not aggressive. You're a world-leading authority in terms of wilderness medicine. But how did you get into the outdoors, and what's your background?
Yeah, I actually really like outdoors, and then I become an outdoors guide. So I took people to do some mountaineering. I also took some ultramarathon running back in China.
You're an ultramarathon runner.
Did I mention that earlier? Oh, that's a surprise then.
Brilliant. If Sun has any sort of professional edge over me up here, it will be his medical knowledge. So he'll be able to kind of assess himself as he goes along in terms of his deterioration and in terms of altitude. You know, my strategy will be slightly more thuggish than his, but when has it not been?
我尽量用我的知识来弥补我身体以及野外生存经验的不足。
There he is.
Nice to see you, mate. Getting on. Welcome, Sun.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Should we get this race started?
Sure.
Let's do it. Choosing this location at this time of year was a big factor for me. The mornings, and you've got every chance of heat illness. And then in the afternoon, it closes in and it's hypothermia territory. Low visibility, frequent downpours, and every day you're going to get both of those things. Guys, welcome to this central mountain range of Taiwan. Your route starts here. You'll be launched down this slippery slope on a south to northeast trajectory through this mountain range and up over Mount Chilai, which is one of the highest mountains in Taiwan and also one of the most dangerous, ending at that exfil point. That exfil point is a radar reflector dish high on a ridge, and that's your cue, and I'll be waiting for you there, probably 5 to 6 days down the line. Obviously, you've got that permanent threat of high altitude. Expect your body physiologically to have to work much harder at these altitudes than you would do if you were doing this race at sea level.
It's going to be tough.
Water, is that going to be... Are there abundant streams out there?
So as soon as you push up through the foothills and out of the tree line, you're going to find yourself in quite a barren landscape. Resources are very, very slim, and particularly water. This one is all about endurance. That's what the course has been designed to do. There's little bushcraft to be had, so having a strategy and trying to stick to it before you get to those exposed areas is going to really work in your favour.
Right, let's do it.
他其实去过全世界那么多的地方，他有很多经验，他是一个非常有自信在野外生存的人。可是，在台湾的高山地区，如果你过于自信、过于提前释放你的能量，你可能很难重新补充。我觉得从这个角度上来讲，我应该比德爷更有优势。OK。
3, 2, 1, go!
Whoa. This is a bit harder to run, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow.
Whoa.
Ed and Sun are racing down a 200-metre scree slope, but the actual race is much higher up. Every metre they go down, they'll need to tackle going up.
And by the end of it, they're going to be absolutely burned out.
Lost so much elevation. It's criminal, absolutely criminal.
太滑了，全部都是碎石。Wow, that spot is a bit tricky. Very bit. Awesome. 我看到那边有一个机会可以爬到那个树上去，看看能不能够从那边的树林里面走到山脊。这样子的话，我有更好的判断方向的机会，然后知道我自己往哪边走。All right.
The race has just started, and already Ed and Sun are on two different paths. Sun is maintaining the northeast trajectory headed towards a steep forest climb.
Every step coming up here is a little bit treacherous.
Ed is climbing further to the east towards the barren foothills, a good place to get his bearings.
About 10 metres from the top of the next summit. I've gained an advantage there. I need to capitalise on it.
我的眼睛刚刚被竹子刺了一下，哇，天哪！
Sun is a formidable opponent. We have someone who is almost built for this race. He's an expedition medic, experienced in mountain terrain, and an ultra-distance marathon runner. And so it'll be hard for Ed to beat someone like that for pure speed in an environment like this.
在高原地区真的是很干燥，然后我觉得自己现在非常的口渴。我有看到这片树林这边有一些这种苔藓啊、地衣之类的这种植物，看看能不能有机会在这边从它们身上挤一点水出来。这可是木头，也是蛮有水分的。我现在还把它。 那我现在要把它装在我的这个防水衣里面，我可以有足够的水可以吃下去。
Just where my finger's pointing is a valley, and in that valley, there's a very distinct waterfall. It isn't exactly on my route. I need to go that way. However, it's not far off enough. Make sure you're making the right decision, Ed. No, it is worth doing. This is a survival race, not just an out-and-out foot race. This is not just about making ground. This is not about going in a straight line. This is about making survival decisions. I need to break off the direction of travel and make sure at least I've got a decent amount of water inside me. All right, let's do it.
Ed's made a big detour. He's headed for basically the only visible waterfall in the whole area.
The ground on the way down there is just head-height bamboo all the way. It's horrific to travel through, and that could be a big gamble.
It's a completely different landscape coming in here. Right.
So我继续往这边走。我终于走到这个3人线了。
我现在可以看到，这个就是我要去的奇来山的北峰。我可以沿着这个山棱线，然后再往上走，应该就是我的地方。基本上知道我自己的方向了。我要继续，加油！
It's just this wall of not impenetrable, but it slows you down, you know? This is literally insane. I'm having to literally go through little mouse tunnels underneath the bamboo. Sometimes I'm going under the bamboo, sometimes I'm going over the bamboo. Sometimes I'm going under and over logs. It is bonkers. In all my years in jungle, this is one of the densest, most horrible jungles I've ever experienced.
Sun is really taking an A to B approach, very much as the crow flies route, and I think that's because he's comfortable with the landscape.
And he's gaining elevation fast.
Whereas Ed is taking a sort of much more meandering route.
He's probably headed for the only visible waterfall in the area.
That is a sensible survival strategy because it's a reliable source of water, but that's going to cost him time because it's a big detour.
The heat of the day is gone. I am getting hungry now. That's proper food, isn't it? Look at the size of that. It's good. But to be honest, we'd need about 25 pounds of this to keep a panda my size going. Just gotta keep consuming like a giant panda. The waterfall is directly through here. Okay, I've just broken out into a little clearing and it looks like it's slightly more open in front of me. Whoa! Okay, that was close. I've just come out in a big open area which doesn't have any bamboo. I can still hear the waterfall, so in that direction I just need to take advantage of this open ground. This waterfall's not going to come quick enough. My mouth is parched. We got lovely, copious, pure fresh water here. Ah!
我要往北边走的话，应该是这个方向，所以我的上坡应该是可以让我到达一个山脊。这边看起来已经非常的陡峭，而且全部都是岩石啊，没有办法从这边走，我要换一个方向，我要从这边往上走。又是刺又是碎石，啊！哇，天哪！我每走一步都会滑2步，然后我的手还不断的被这种植物刺到，这种刺草真的是太痛了，到处都是这种刺。看看这个能不能够帮我一下。这个好走多了。我刚刚有尝试着测量我的脉搏，通过数表的方式，我觉得我的脉搏应该是在150以上。这样子的话，其实对我非常不好。我想要把我的脉搏控制在130、140左右，那我可以燃烧更多的脂肪，而不是燃烧我更多的糖分。加油！
End of day 1, Sun's covered 22 kilometres and Ed's only covered 11.
Ed's stationary at the waterfall.
Where there's plentiful resources, but Sun is up on the tops and he could be in for a really rough night.
The temperature at night can drop to 3 degrees Celsius. He's made the most ground, but can he survive the night?
这是一个非常不错的天然的一个洞穴，树下面，太棒了。
我要在下面铺上干的草，这样子我不会太冷。我要用一些树枝放这里，放这里，放这里，然后铺上一些草叶。我想今天晚上就可以对付一个晚上了。把我的门做成这个样子。假如说真的有野兽什么的，我至少还有一些挡住他们的东西。我认为德野现在应该在我的后面。
I was just very concerned that if I didn't come down to a water source, that I was going to get in trouble over the next few days. It's so hard not to doubt yourself in situations like this. I think you've got to make a decision and stick with it. The unequivocally disturbing thing about today is that Sun is ahead of me. I know he's ahead of me, which is frustrating, and I'm going to have to make up ground.
刚刚醒来，我看到外面的那个天光已经开始有亮了，所以我也应该赶快整理一下，然后准备今天的行程。
It's the morning of day 2. Looking at the tracker, Ed is still at the waterfall and soon is catching some morning rain over at his location. The riverbed he's in should have little streams.
Low down, you've got a plethora of resources that you can use, but once you get up, you're up into a resource-devoid landscape.
If I were them, I'd take stock as much as I can before heading up.
Okay, before I leave the water source, definitely I need water up high, and I need to be able to carry water with me. Take the top off there, but then I want to punch through this node here. If I get embers into the middle here, I can burn through this node, and then I've got double the capacity basically. Rather than 1 litre, I've got 2 litres. And I think it is working. Oi, oi, oi. My top fits.